It is a great honor and a privilege to introduce Dr. Avram Huli. We're here in your beautiful apartment in Rishon LeZion. And Avram, not only are you the Vice President of B'nai Brit International, but you're very involved in Jews rescuing Jews, academic, a real hero of Israel. So if you could tell us a little bit about your roots, where your family came from in Greece, and what made you so passionate about the work that you're doing in recognizing Jews that saved Jews during the Shoah?
Yes, okay. So thank you very much, Les, for interviewing me. So if I go back to my roots, this is my mother, Allegra Simcha. She was from family Mevorach in the city Kastoria, which is in Macedonia, near to the Albania border. She was born there in the year 1912, and learning agriculture. This is my father in Thessaloniki. He was born in the year 1912, and also he learned agriculture. And in the year 1936, they came to Israel in a different ships, small ships. Those are the lists of the people in the ships. And my father came in 1936 June, and my mother in 1936 August. And they were working around Israel in Magdiel, in Atlit, in Zichron Yaakov, in Binyamina. They were working, and only in the year 1938 they came to the place Tzur Moshe was built in the day of the Yom Kippur, when the Ottomans lived Israel, and the British had a law that if we put fence and tower in the night, they will not destroy it. And they came after the build of the year 1937. They came, my father in March 1938, and my mother in April 1938. And after 2 years they married, and they got an home that came from money that very rich people from Dr. Moshe Kofinas. He was a doctor in Volos, and he got money from the family of Carasso and the family of Recanati from Greece, and the journalist David Florentin, and they got the money to build the first 20 buildings or houses where I was born in the year 1944. And I was living there with habitants and what I clothes and what I learned about Greece, but not so much because I was busy with my friends and in my school. So those are the first roots in my mind about the roots of the Jewish people in Greece.
And you have a picture, a map,
yes,
where it shows where your...
Yes. Yes. Yeah, this is the map of Greece. So for me, the main places are Thessaloniki and Kastoria, and some other places that I submitted the nominations for Jewish Rescuing Jewish from other cities in Greece, and three of them were rabbis. The rabbi of Athens, Rabbi Barzilai, the rabbi of Volos, Rabbi Pesach, and the rabbi of Larissa, Rabbi Kasuto. And but this is many years after I was born in Tzur Moshe. And after 22 years in the Israeli army, I went to work in Motorola another 22 years. And during that time, I learned that B'nai Brit, that I joined in the year 2006, have a project called Jew Rescuing Jews. And when I saw the first list of 120, I didn't see anyone from Greece, and I learned that no one submitted nominations. So without submitting nominations cannot be approved. And then I started, and the first one I brought in the year 2014, which was name was Yaakov Maestro. His name was Jaquito, nickname, and the second one was the boxer Jacob Razon, who saved Noach Klieger. And then I learned and submitted nomination for Noach Klieger, not that just as someone who he rescued by himself in Belgium. And those are the plaque or the citation everyone gets, the family, or if they are alive, they can get it by themselves from the B'nai B'rith and the committee to recognize the heroism of Jews who rescued fellow Jews during the Holocaust. And I am very excited every year to get some more and more approvals from the judging committee about nominations I am nominating, and all the processes for each one of them to collect the evidences, documents, and what they did that is rescuing Jewish. And the committee, the judging committee, decide if they if they meet the criteria.
And what are the criteria?
Oh, the criteria is one, that you are Jew. The first one is that you was in risk because you was doing your activity in a place that was occupied by Germans or Nazis or their partnerships, not in another countries. And another one is not only one meeting or one rescuing, you need to have some more. And it's not your family. And you didn't save and rescued by getting money. You did it voluntarily. So there are some criteria that the judging committee, when they get the nomination, they looked on the documents everyone submitted, not to me, but others. And if they meet the criteria, they will be approved. There is a ceremony in the place called Kisalon, which is a monument by which called Megillat Ha'esh or Gvilei Esh.
A pillar of fire.
Yes. And there is a big ceremony when after the 2 minutes of siren of the Holocaust Day, and in 1 hour many families get the citation like that. So those are the first two, and what I can show you now is for those two, just as an examples, how it looks like. So the first one was Jacob Maestro, Jaquito. He wasn't in the ceremony, he was sick in that time, but then he got the plaque, and few years later I came to his home. Unfortunately, he passed away 2 years after that, and then I learned from him that also his sister saved other Jews, Sterina Maestro, in the blocks of the woman, and she also got a GRJ, and I am very glad that when I come to collect the data about his sister, we were filmed together in his home. And the second thing is about another one that he passed away many years before I made the nomination, Jaco Razon. He was a boxer, he was the champion of Greece and the whole Balkan countries. And this is the family with the Professor Yitzhak Kerem and me and the family, and also sons and grandsons, and with the citation they got in the ceremony. This is in Kisalon, after as part of the ceremony of the Holocaust Day. So since those first two, I was involved in many other nominations, and till today I am proud that I got 56, 49 I made the whole process, and about other 7 I was doing it with participation with other friends, and we helped each other to submit the nomination. And in the year 2016, when I brought 5 from Greece, I decided to make a movie. And there's a big process with many steps. After 6 years, in the year 2021, the film was ready, and now it's published by some elements and channels in which I show the film and I explain the whole process, what made me to start with Greece. But most of the people, out of the 56, only 12 are from Greece. The others are from other countries, mainly from Poland, but also from Belgium and France and in Hungary and Holland or Netherlands, and from Morocco and from Romania and from Algeria. So this is the process that I went through.
And Avram, if you can explain a little bit about this, is very interesting.
This is one place that shows that our children were put in a special building to protect them, and finally some of them, not all of them, were saved. So this is just a nurse taking care for the children, for food and for dressing and for talking to them and teaching them.
And where was it? In which country?
This was one of the, I think this is in the Netherlands. So I think this is a very good example of what we did.
And the families, they must be very appreciative when it's recognition for endangering one's life,
right,
in order to save a fellow Jew and a fellow human being.
As part of the documents I am collecting to submit the nominations, I am using a partnership with the families. And of course, the most exciting point is when the families get directly the announcement from B'nai Brit that the judging committee approved the bravery of their father or mother or sister, and then they contact me back, and it's very exciting point to understand that it's a process that was successful. There are many nominations in the process today, but this is ongoing process, and by the time I will submit more and more nominations from the connection I am getting from my website and from phone and from mail. So today more and more people in Israel and in the world knows about the phenomena of Jewish rescuing Jewish during the Holocaust. And I'm very excited.
It's so important because a lot of people know about non-Jews that rescue. They put their lives at stake in their family lives.
Till today, there are about 27,000 rights among the nation.
Chasidei
Umot Olam, and for Jew rescuing Jew, it's close to 600. And the process is that my purpose is 3 words. When I talk about it in presentations or in a Zoom meeting or in a frontal meeting, is first of all, you know that this phenomena exists. And the second, be proud that you are Jew and you know that Jew rescue Jew. And even there are Christians who they are righteous among the nation when they hear about Jews rescuing Jews. And sometimes they work together in order to do it. Like in Poland, the Żygota, there were non-Jewish and Jewish to rescue Jewish. And so also they are proud to know that there is a process to recognize Jewish saving or rescuing Jews. And the third thing I want, after knowing and be proud, is to act. What does it mean? I cannot enforce people to act, but if they know after this presentation that they know something about somebody who rescued the Holocaust, they can contact me or somebody else and tell the story and to submit nomination, and some of them are approved and get the citation, as I showed before. So this is ongoing process, and today there are around 600. I'm sure that it will increase maybe we will not achieve 27,000, but maybe some more hundreds that people will submit when they will when they will see this phenomena published in the newspaper, in the television, and some other communication channels.
It's wonderful. And Avram, the work you're doing is it's vital, it's so important. It really is, because these are our unsung heroes. And it's important that people know that people were prepared to risk their own lives in order to save others.
Right. And so people know, people are proud, and some of them are acting to find more and more evidences and documents of rescuing, which is the main thing for the judging committee to recognize them.
And Avram, if you can just speak a little bit about, you come from such an unbelievable family with the roots in Greece. Here's a picture of your parents before they got married and when they got married.
Yes, okay. So I'm here to be interviewed by you because I have those parents that passed away. My mother passed away in the year 2005 and my father 2007. And this is a big picture I'm holding in my room, and I see it many times a day.
And when you grew up, did your parents speak a lot about their roots in Greece? And
it means, if you can see here, this is a book I helped my father and my mother to publish, Moshe Asipur. Moshe is the name of my father, Muis. And this is the story of Muis, and from their lives in Greece and how they came to Israel till the year 2000, when I published the book, and it's in the internet. Everyone can read it free of charge. And this was based on about 196 letters came from Greece to my father since the year 1936 till the year 1941, when the Germans didn't let letters to come outside from Greece to Greece and not from Greece outside to Israel. And so all those letters are in Ladino or Solitreo, and I contacted few experts in Israel, and they helped me to translate it to what we called Aki Yerushalayim. This is one element of keeping Ladino in typing in computer, and then it was translated to Hebrew. So all those letters are now translated to Aki Yerushalayim and to Hebrew, and everyone can read it. And what is amazing is that some of them are telling my father, come back to Greece because you have very difficulties in Israel, because you cannot go to dentist and you can go to other places to get help, and there are many risks, and there are Arabs around, so come back and we will find for you a bride, and you will go but we know that all those that came back, there were people came back to Greece. We know what happened, and they were transported to Auschwitz. So I am glad that they were not convinced to come back because they had difficulties. So all those letters are now part of it. It's in the book, and in the year 2014, I made a route visit to Thessaloniki and Castoria with all my family. So we went to see where my father and my mother were born, and what happened to the Jewish community in Greece that is part of my childhood, which made me many years later, in the year 2013, the first time I heard about the process or the project of Jew rescuing Jew. So and that first I said, okay, I will look for those who are from Greece. And the rest of it's history. And now I have 12 from Greece and 56 from other countries.
Here you have an amazing picture of
Yeah, this is one of the pictures when this is the most back years. I hear about maybe 1 year with my mother and my father in Tel Aviv. This is his sister. She came to Israel with her husband in the year 1933. They had 2 children born in Thessaloniki, and then they came back, and they another two sister and brother, and we made this picture in Tel Aviv.
your father is on the right.
This is my father, my mother, and me. This is my grand brother, and this is 2 brothers out of 4. That 2 were born in Thessaloniki and 2 were born in Israel, and I am in contact with all of them till today.
And in that picture, how old were you in the picture?
This is in the year 1945, before the Independence
So
Day.
you were 1, just over 1 year old.
Yeah, so okay, this is the youngest picture took there. I couldn't film it in that time. There was no cellular
Sure.
that you can film.
And Avram, did you speak Ladino growing up?
Yeah, poco, no mucho, little bit, not professional. But como estás, how you feel, you wanted to sing, אתה רוצה לשיר, you want to dance, אתה רוצה לרקוד, you want to eat, אתה רוצה to comer, bailar, cantar. So I know some, not too much, but I can understand more than talking Ladino or writing Ladino. I understand Ladino, let's say about 50% or less.
And the language of Ladino, is it still being revived, or people still speaking?
Yes, there is a national authority. It was built by the 5th president of Israel, Yitzhak Navon. What we called in Hebrew, okay, הרשות הלאומית, national authority for תרבות הלדינו, Ladino culture. And Ladino was done, was taught in Turkey, and then Bulgaria, and in Yugoslavia. And today there is a lot of renewal of activities, mainly done by Bar Ilan, Professor Shmuel Rafael, Professor Tamar Alexander, and many, many others. And there is a big, and also the singers that are singing. Like Poliker, Yehuda Poliker sings, and Shimon Parnas has a program, and Yaron Enosh. So there are Kobi Zarko, there are many people trying to renew and to keep the Ladino well known.
It's so important to preserve. It's a heritage.
Right. It's the same activity with the Yiddish. Okay, there are many other groups who are trying to keep the Yiddish to be more and more in use.
And Avram, can I ask you, from your parents on both sides, were there many members of the family that remained in Greece and that were killed during the Shoah from your family? Most
of my families were dead in the Holocaust camps. Most of them. From my side of my father is a sister. Yeah, she came to Israel before the war, and he and other four aunts were in Auschwitz. Two of them were killed, 2 of them survived and came to Israel. From the side of my mother, she came with her brother in the year 1936, and all the rest were killed, with the grandfather and grandmother. So most of, and also children were in those transportations. I'm trying to do some activity to keep the memory and the heritage of the Greek Jewish activity that I am part of it.
And did your parents ever go back to Greece?
Yeah, they visited Greece and Cyprus and yeah, of course. And some people came from Greece to Israel just to visit. They met them from time to time. Yes, of course.
So Aram, if I could ask you, well, what message do you give, not only to your family, but What message do you give to all of us for future generations?
It means, somebody is born, and this is part of the life. Sometime he passed away, and the question is what we are leaving to our new generations. Now, when we go back to the Egyptian, what we call Yetziat Mitzrayim,
the Exodus.
there was no video, and also when there was Ferdinand and Isabel in Spain, the Jewish went out from Spain. No video from that time. But now when we have all those communication with video and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, we at least can keep some of the heritage of what happened to the Jewish communities, in this case is in the Shoah or the Holocaust, so other generations in the future, at least they have it in a very good immediate reaction or collection. They can decide not to use it, but they cannot say, oh, I don't have any source of information, so what I can do. So that's what they need to do to our children and our grandchildren and grandchildren, to keep the whole information by video, by audio, by books, and by the activities in the other communication channels, so they will know what happened to the Jewish people since the Egyptian escaping and till today.
And I think that's one of the main impetus, that your passion in making the film.
Yes. And I am trying to convince other people, I cannot enforce them, to tell them what I'm telling you. And maybe some of them will say, oh, I will continue, at least from now, to find more and more information, not just about Jews rescuing Jews, but about other activities of the Jewish communities all over the world.
So I just want to thank you. This has been incredible. So, Avram, really, I'm extremely grateful to you. No, you can sit.
Oh, I thought.
No. I'm so grateful to you, and Ein Milim, it's such a pleasure and honor to meet you. And really, you are inspiration. You are inspiration to all of us. We should all emulate what you do. It's incredible. Really,
thank you very much.
I'm really grateful from the bottom of my heart. I just wish you all the mazel and bracha.
Right, and I want to thank Adasa and Slila Bao. They decided to tell me about you.
Well, I'm grateful too.
And after a long process, you are here today in my home.
Thank you very, very much.
God bless you.
You should only have mazel and bracha at May Vesrim to you and your dear family.
Thank you very much. Amen. כן יהי רצון ונאמר אמן.
And thank you so very much, Avram. It's been an honor and a privilege, really.